This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans from around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of the MWF Boston Wrestling Sports Studio Shoot Interview Series. I'm Dan Marotti, very happy to be joined by the president of the Millennium Wrestling Federation, Dr. David Reese, and the man of the hour, looking like he just stepped off to the plane from Miami Beach, Bull Dempsey, James.
Yes.
WWE NXT
Came just
alumni,
to see you.
superstar. Well, it's been about 5 weeks since we've seen each other, so we do need to catch up. Pleasure to have you here in this studio.
Pleasure to be here.
Had a lot of fun in Texas, WrestleMania week.
A lot of fun.
And now we're going to extend that here in Boston.
Let's do it.
Before we get ready to bring you here to the MWF full-time. We'll talk more about that at the great establishment known as Kowloon as the evening goes on. Yes, I am. You can tell the chicken fingers are ready to get on the throat. Nonetheless, let's talk about this. We're going to start hot and heavy. Your first pro wrestling memories. I have mine. What about you? Everybody remembers sitting down, seeing it on TV, the big first angle, the big first pay-per-view. What resonates with you?
Rockers and the Brainbusters.
Really?
Yeah.
So 1989, you were about 1.
No. This was after that. Took a little down the line.
What do you mean?
Like videos of it.
Oh, you saw home videos?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
videos back maybe like 93, 94 with my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
And then he passed away not long after, so that was like one of the earliest memories that I have now of him sitting down watching wrestling. So that kind of always stuck with me because it was one thing that we did together. Then after he passed,
You and your granddad?
Yeah, I kept it up. But he would always take the Coliseum videos from Blockbuster and then make a copy of them.
I did the same
thing.
thing.
Give me the copy. Yeah.
What about the Rockers and the Brainbusters did you like so much?
I think
Judged by your appearance, that probably wouldn't be something that fans would think, oh, he's a
Arn Anderson's
Rockers
one of my
Brain.
favorites.
Really?
Yeah. But I think it was the Rockers, like being a young kid and you see those bright colors, you know? It's kind of one of those things where you're just drawn to it because it's like like the Usos nowadays.
Right.
Little kids see the face paint and they're so colorful.
They like it, yeah.
Catches their eye. So I think maybe that probably had something to do with it.
How old were you when you started going to shows?
I didn't start going to shows till a lot later.
Really?
Yeah.
What was your first live event?
First live event was supposed to be ECW, the Queens Elks Lodge. And I talked to my parents and let me buy a ticket to go, and my mom's dropped me off, and one of the female competitors of the evening was walking into the Elks, and the fans lined up outside started to chant one of their notorious ECW chants.
What was the chant?
It was one of the "She's Got Herpes" or one of
really? Okay.
Their usual shtick, you know. And she heard that, and she's back in the car.
How old were you at this point?
This was 99.
What, 11?
So 11.
Yeah.
Goes,
I could see taking an 11-year-old
home.
out of that atmosphere, yeah.
Yeah, and then my dad later on that night said, "You should have had me take you."
So what wound up being the first one?
Wound up being later on, maybe until I was like 14, and there was a guy, I was working at IBM, just like entry-level job.
At 14?
Yeah.
Really?
It was a BS job. It just
Okay. I didn't know they would hire someone so young.
Sure you turn the computer on and just kind of sit there and that's it. So. But the guy in the loading dock was training to be a wrestler. And he was having his first match, and he was putting posters up in the building. So I saw it, and I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool to go to. And it was East Coast Professional Wrestling, run by Gino Caruso in New Jersey. And I went there and saw my first live wrestling show. You know, besides, like, I'm talking like independent-wise as far as, like, I've been to, like, shows at the Garden, you know.
Oh, so let me go back to that for a second. What was your first WWF-style show?
Probably 97, 98.
What was it, brother?
It was Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Who headlined?
Either Rock or Austin.
You don't even remember the main event of the first show? Really? Geez, I'm usually pretty good at stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, everybody's
I'm good now. Like, if I see somebody that I haven't seen in years, I could tell you where we wrestled each other, who the promoter was, how the crowd was, everything. But I don't know, like wrestling
Sold
shows.
out?
Always.
It was
Hanging
always
from the
sold out?
rafters.
Okay, so go back to ECPW. You were at the first show, Gino Caruso.
Yeah.
What was your impression of your first independent wrestling show?
It was just cool because I was so close. You know, even if I had good seats at the Garden, it was still
ways away.
the Garden, you know. But being it was a high school gym and kind of just being 10 rows away, I'm like, it was pretty cool. And they had flyers set up, you know, promoting the wrestling school and everything.
Of course.
And they were training younger kids as long as they had parents' permission. So I brought it to my parents and I said, I want to train. I really want to do this. And they're like, well, you know, this quarter in school, get good grades and we'll let you do it. So I got my grades up. I said, maybe wait till you're 18 and let you do it.
Really? They kayfabed you, huh? Yeah.
So then graduated high school at 17 and started training.
Really?
Yeah.
So you waited a little longer than you had
A
hoped
little bit,
to.
yeah.
Your first impressions of wrestling school? I mean, had you been actually in a professional wrestling ring since you were somewhat familiar with independent wrestling shows?
I was never in a ring.
Yeah.
But I read every book that I could, like every autobiography, because they were getting hot at the time that everybody was coming out with one. So I kind of knew just from that the one constant was shake hands with everybody, keep your mouth shut, and so on and so forth. So I just said, you know what, that's like the constant thing in all these books. That's just what I'm going to do. And it worked out. And the guy started, hey, kid, come here. Smartened me up to a couple things, and then it just slowly grew.
So what year abouts are we talking?
05.
05 you started training? Okay, that's pretty good. How long were you in the training process before you actually started to wrestle on live events?
7 months. And I remember at about 4 months, guys that were there for a while were telling me, why aren't you having a match yet? I don't know. It's not booking me.
Here's a question I like to ask. Looking back, do you think you received enough time training for your first match?
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, because I made sure of it. You know, there's a lot of entitlement with guys today. Like now being back in the independents, I kind of see it a lot. And that school was open 4 days a week. And whatever I had to do, if I was cutting class at community college, or if I was calling in sick at work, whatever I had to do, I got to be there.